Hello and welcome to our program Viewpoint for today. It's a pleasure having you there joining us on today's edition of the program. My name is Bumi Babanomi, welcoming you on board. You know what we do on the program? We bring distinguished Nigerians to have a chat with them, let you know what they are doing, how far they have gone, and how you can benefit from their life experiences. We also touch some areas, if it's politics, if it's healthcare system, if it's insecurity, as time permits us. So today I have another distinguished Nigerian, just like I said on the program for today, and he is Dr. Damilola Lewis. Dr. Damilola Lewis is a medical practitioner, that means he's a doctor. And he was a former chairman, Nigerian Medical Association, Oyo State chapter. Is also a pastor. So you see, two caps in one. He's a pastor, First Cross Gospel Church, Ibadan. And you know, the most important aspect of it is today that we are doing this recording is his wedding anniversary. So let me just welcome him to the program for today, and let's see how the celebration will continue from there. So you're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you very much.
So it's your wedding anniversary. So
yes,
how does it feel?
I feel great.
Okay.
Like I told my partner in the morning, I said, thank you for granting me the opportunity to walk you down the aisle 32 years ago.
Wow.
And remaining beside me ever since then. And I pray you continue to be beside me. So I feel great, and I thank God that that journey has been fruitful, has been rewarding. And I appreciate every bit of it by the grace of God. We've had varied experiences, and we have weathered the storm together, and we have come out with testimonies.
To God be the glory. So once again, I say congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Happy anniversary and more fruitful and glorious years together.
Thank you
in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So let's get to know you. I know you said you have been married for over 32 years. So your background, how was it? You're from which state, which town? Who were your parents? I want to see you the way you were when you were growing up.
Thank you very much. I have a very humble background. I was born in Lagos, an indigene of Lagos State.
Okay.
Our family house is situated at Koragbede on Broad Street in Lagos, now housing the headquarters of United Bank for Africa. But we have been moved out of that house because the government has converted the entire area to a central business district. But the house being built at that spot is named after the family, Mabinori family descendants house. And I personally was born in the house of Major General Adeyinka Adebayo Omodukwe Johnson Crescent in Surulere.
Okay.
That was where I started my journey in life. I'm a Surulere boy. And my parents moved from there to Shomolu. I had my primary education at Pangrove, Omoleye Nursery and Primary School on Pangrove, and moved to the one and only secondary school in Nigeria, the first and the best CMS Grammar School. I schooled when it has been relocated to Bariga in Lagos. And I left after my higher school education for then University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, where I studied medicine and surgery. And from there I went back to Lagos for my housemanship, did my National Youth Service Corps at Benue State with the Nigerian Army, and then ever since I had moved to Ibadan. I'm now Baba Ibadan. My mother hails from Ijebu, Remo, from Elisha. She's from the ruling house of the Adewodus. And that's my mother, and together, by the grace of God, my father is late, my mother is still alive. Live and kicking, though she resides with us for 6 months and goes to do 6 months with my junior ones in England. I'm the only one out of 4 that is remaining in Nigeria. The remaining 3 have said bye-bye. Well, I am telling them that Ilila Bosimiyoko. So that's essentially how we are fared. We have 2 children. I have 2 girls, adorable ones. I love those 2 girls. I keep telling everybody who bothers to listen that not having a boy is not a problem to me. The day I respected them very well was when we were in US. And we were 5 on that trip. And I had 10 23 kg luggages to contend with. And we were to board a train. So I set up at 3 points myself. Grandma was with us. I was taking care of Grandma. So I set up the bags 5-5 for the girls. The speed at which they were throwing those luggages into the train for us to make the 3 minutes waiting time, I actually respect them. That no boy could have done better.
Wow.
And ever since then, I've been respecting them for whatever God has brought them to do in my life. They've been a very wonderful set of persons. They encourage me a lot, ask after me and everything. But both of them too are outside Nigeria today. The first one is married, and we have a granddaughter through her, by the grace of God. So she's a graduate of microbiology, intending to now further, and she had a master's degree in health and nutrition, but she still intends to go ahead to study medicine.
Wow.
Her junior sister is a graduate of law. All of us are great Ife in my house. Myself, my wife, and my children.
Was it because you went to Ife? OAU, I know, University of Ife then?
Yes.
So that's why you encourage.
I know that that was part of the influence. They all love great Ife, as they usually say in the house.
All right. Now, so you said your other siblings, all of them were outside the country.
Yes.
Only you is in Nigeria. Why didn't you follow suit? You know, why didn't you join them?
From my secondary school days, I've always believed in my country. And that's even part of the reason why I didn't elope to Saudi Arabia.
Oh dear.
I would have gone to make money and maybe possibly stay back there or cross over to another land. But I've always believed that this nation is going to be great. And I am also praying that it will be when I'm alive that the greatness will be endowed on it.
Okay, it's my prayers too. We want Nigeria to be great, but then it's going to take all our efforts to join hands together.
Those are part of my prayers, that everybody will come to that realization that it is not government, it is us. We own it. Yeah. And if we play our part, we'll definitely get there.
Thank you very much. Now, you are a medical practitioner. What really inspired you to go for medicine and surgery in school? You know, probably because we have parents nowadays who want their children to study type of a course. Okay, I'm a doctor, so you must take after me. So go and study medicine. I'm a lawyer, you must take after me. I have this chamber, you must, you know, that kind of a thing. Was it?
Unfortunately, my father is an engineer with the old Electricity Corporation of Nigeria, which metamorphosed into NEPA. It was when it was still NEPA that he passed on to glory. Wow. My mother is a communications person. She worked all her life at the Post and Telegraphs, formerly P&T, now Ministry of Communications. She retired in the Department of Philately, so both of them didn't have any influence on my becoming a doctor. I had a cousin then who suffered from polio when polio virus was endemic in Nigeria in the 1973, and it was very rampant then. So I was always challenged that everywhere I was taken to, they would keep telling us it will work, it will work. And I was enthusiastic about the fact that this young man must work. So that inspired me to want to go into medicine, that perhaps I will go into a research to find out how the reminiscences of polio infection can be corrected in the lives of humans. But unfortunately, I've not been able to do that.
Why is that?
let me say Nigeria happened to me then, because those who are supposed to encourage that idea will rather abuse you and dissuade you from going ahead. Who are you? What do you think you are? You think you can become an inventor or whatever? Rather than encourage, they were discouraging. And that happened till I left the university. The professor is still alive. We still relate. But those who didn't live by his abuse, who ignored it, have gone ahead to become great scientists outside Nigeria.
Thank you, sir. As a medical practitioner, I know you're a former chairman, Nigerian Medical Association at Oyo State chapter.
Yes.
Yeah. Now let's look at the functions of the NMA and you as a chairman. Were there any notable achievements that you can mention about while you were chairman?
Thank you very much. One of the things I prayed to God about then is to improve on the welfare of the medical practitioners then, both public and private practitioners, and that during my tenure, with God answering that prayer, I won't have any reason to contend with any industrial action, and God honored it. They attempted going on strike, but I know God dissuaded them from doing so, because most of the time I was always up and doing with very many welfare packages then to douse the tension at that time. So that that's one of the reasons why I said to those who bother to listen that if you look after the welfare of the people working for you, they will put in their best, irrespective of the challenges that may be facing them. But when you treat them like shit, that's when they get angry. And they will want to draw a line and a war will begin to brew up. All it takes is respecting their views, listening. More so, you already had an agreement, then honor your agreement. Be honorable to follow it through, and everybody will be at peace. And that's what God has helped me to do at that time. I knew we came up with a lot of welfare packages at that time. The needs, we did a needs assessment for the private practitioners, which is far, far different from the person practicing in the public hospitals. So we tried as much as possible to harmonize those things at that time, and we were able to at least get a bit far, even though we were not able to satisfy everybody. And we also believe that subsequent administrations will be able to latch on to the foundations that we have laid. They did a few of it, but over time I discovered that it's like going on strike has been a game that most civil servants always love, because government is always reneging on their agreements. Because we package things that like getting loans at single digits interest to furnish private hospitals. At least that's the joy and the fulfillment of a private practitioner, to be able to practice without any hindrance. Then for the public officer, he wants his salaries to be up and doing and not being hindered from carrying out his research. Those were things we, as much as possible, tried to do. The last one which we couldn't do, which just recently the House has been commissioned, but I also hope they would look into it to actualize that, is to open an e-library at the NMA house, where every resident who comes for exam or who is training within the state will have access to information through the electronic library. And it will help them during their exams, and it will encourage more scientists, because it will grant them access to e-books outside Nigeria, which they will get at a token. And we can get sponsors to help us get the physical ones if we can't, if it's possible for us to do, and the e-ones which they can always buy on the various e-platforms that are available. And basically I know that once they are able to access information and increase knowledge, their minds will be busy and they will be pulled away from all these industrial activities and they will think less about most of those things, and also make a guest house in that house so that they will have a place to relax after a hard day's work. Those are the things I pray we will eventually have to do in the enemy house, which we eventually commissioned this year, and get ourselves on board to do some other things.
But are there things you feel you could have done better, looking back? Maybe there were some things you told recently that you're not thinking about it, that if I'd done it this way, maybe would have achieved this and that. Are there things you think you could have done better while still the
At the helm of affairs? Yeah. Yes, and that's focusing on the younger generation.
Okay.
Because this Gen Z, you need the grace of God to direct them. Their thoughts and actions are far, far different from those of us ahead of them. They don't have a persevering spirit at all. So those are things I felt we should have tried to sit down, learn from them, see how we can incorporate that into our own resilience, which we were taught about, and try to marry the two situations and bring out the best from it. But I believe we will be able to get there.
Maybe that we are not really listening to them, these Gen Zs.
Well, that's part of it. We oftentimes shut them down, and now they are reacting.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, you are a pastor, a full-time pastor, I presume.
Well, I'm supposed to be a part-time pastor, but I do the duties of a full-timer.
So, if you do the duties of a full-time pastor, and with your profession as a medical practitioner, how do you now cope with the two? Because both of them, you have to deal with human beings. You know, probably some for the pastoral work, emotional, psychological issues. Then as a medical practitioner, there are health issues. So how do you now combine both?
The similarities for both of them is having a listening ear to everybody who comes your way. And it's not easy to sit down, whether the person is talking sense or nonsense, to just have you discover that when you allow them to pour out their minds, you are 50% resolved in whatever issues they may have brought to your presence. So that I've learned to do. I've trained myself in it, though oftentimes it may be injurious to health if you are not careful. I was having to sit down and somebody will be talking and talking and talking and talking. If you yourself, you are not careful, you have some other damages done to your body. So that, be that as it may, I've learned to do that for both of them. And as much as possible, depending on God, that I won't have any embarrassing situation while attending to one or the other. Like, for instance, if I'm on the pulpit, I make sure that whatever goes on in the hospital, I have a colleague on standby to attend to such emergencies. But I've always had this grace that I've never had anything embarrassing coming up for those moments that I was away from there. And the same thing goes for the church. I oftentimes tell my patients that Sundays are my days of rest, even though it's not, we don't observe any rest. They will say, it's not a kusimi for pastor, it's a Joshua for pastor. But as much as possible, I use that day to attend to other things in the church, and also Saturdays.
Okay.
Saturday mornings till 12 noon, I am with my family as much as possible. And I also try as much as possible to stay with them, to understand them, not allowing anybody to have any influence over them.
To ask that, how do you now combine these and with the home front?
That's why I didn't travel out. That's why I refused to travel out. One of the reasons why I refused to travel out. If I have gone out to make money, like Yorubas will say, Omotako. So I asked myself the question, if I made the money who am I spending it on? Should be these children. So I think I should give them my time. So as much as possible, their schooling, both primary and secondary, has always been around my office area.
Okay.
And if I engage in anything outside,
you were doing school runs then.
I was the only one going to pick them. I take them and I go to pick them. I do that so that they can pour out their minds to me.
Exactly.
And I will be able to have the right influence on them than depending on somebody else.
For school runs is the best time you have with your kids.
Exactly.
That's when they can pour their hearts out.
Exactly. They pour out their minds to you. They tell you everything. Like my second born, when she comes around and is rubbing her head on my tummy, I knew something has developed that she wants to tell me. And I always want people around her do try to run me down or to say negative things. Their mother will always tell them, be careful. This girl will tell her father everything that transpires. Well, some of them don't learn.
So it's good as, even as a man, to have that connection with the children.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Don't entrust the care of your children to another person. Don't. You are the best carer, and it's your assignment. It's even your primary assignment, irrespective of any other engagements you have. I even remember one time I had to go and conduct a burial at J4. That's on the way to Benin. I was driving a Toyota Corolla then. And we got to this place, they were wasting time. I had taken them to school earlier and driven down to that place. And I had timed myself that by 5, when they will be finishing from lesson, I should be ready at the gates. So when they were wasting time there, I said, I will leave you people and go. They said, Pastor, how can you leave? I said, because I also have my own life to live. But I knew what I did that day, I don't think is right. Because I spent less than 3 hours from that place to Ibadan.
Wow.
If FRSC hears that now, they'll say, Baba, I know roofing. Because I know that it couldn't have been less than 200 kilometers per hour then to come. Though the roads were still good then.
Okay. None of your children took after you. I know one studied microbiology and the other one studied law. None of them really took after you. Did you feel, I don't know, slighted or...
Well, as a human being, I will. Because the one who even went for microbiology initially wanted to study medicine. But some way, somehow, she was not admitted. So after her second year, we were trying to transfer her to the Faculty of Medicine. She suddenly fell in love with microbiology. She said, I think I like it here better than going to medicine. And that's how she ended up being a microbiologist. I even encouraged her that you can still be a doctor and a consultant microbiologist. But she said, let me just do what I want to do. And I have this attitude that I don't discourage a child. And I don't insist on my own ideas. I allow them to do whatever they want to do so that they can make the best in life.
Nice. Let them follow their passion.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, thank you, sir. Now, doctor, how do we improve, the Nigerian healthcare system? A lot of issues. If you go to our teaching hospitals now, let's start with the teaching hospital. A lot of equipment have gone moribund. Some no electricity. So if you are going to the hospital, you are going with the fear of what will I meet there. And even the government, it's like all the people at the ends of affair, they rather go outside the country for medical checkup or for treatment instead of staying in their country. Now the healthcare system is nothing to write home about. How do you think we can improve on it? What can we do? Do we leave everything to the government? Or maybe like some philanthropists can even come up, maybe support the government to do something about this?
The Nigerian situation is multifactorial. I'll start it in this way. The man who is running out knows the evil he has performed at home. Just like the Yorubas, we say, Abeni lori. They know what they have done. and they don't trust what they have done. So they can't bring themselves to come under the same system they created. Only one person has exemplified patronizing the system that we created, though in a private setting. That's immediate past Vice President, Professor Shibaju.
Okay.
He had an orthopedic challenge which was corrected at the Duchess Hospital in Lagos. Most of them will run away. Why? Because they know they don't trust what they have done. It's because they know what they used to equip those hospitals, what they signed for in the contracts were obsolete equipments that were brought in. They knew. And somebody okayed it for use for human beings. But because they know what they have done, they will not subject themselves to go through what they have created. That's why they keep running away. Yeah. And that's why I said it's multifactorial. Truth be told, until righteousness reigns, until we all come and sit down and decide that let us put an end to this unfaithfulness, then Nigeria will come to a headway. If I'm given a contract and I'm quoting current prices of new equipments, I should be able to also be faithful enough to supply new equipments. Yeah. There are laws backing most of these things, but because anything goes in this environment, that's why we have this kind of challenges we're having. For any contractual agreement that you make with whether road building, whether goods and services, supplies and things like that, your profit margin has already been earmarked, backed by law. 20% of the cost of implementing the contract belongs to you.